Module 4 for IDT 507, we studied the computing era. And I will say very candidly, this was probably the module that I struggled with the most. It was very broad, very complex, and there was just a lot of information packed into this one module. There was any number of choices as far as different topics to choose from for creating content for this module. Initially, my intention was to create an invitation to a very important date, a very much a tipping point or a watershed moment for the change from the electronic era into the computing era, and that was the creation of the transistor by Bell Laboratories. Based on Professor Lizardi and Professor Snyder's recommendation, that didn't exactly fall within the module of computing era, and after reading the comments that were made, I would agree that leans more towards the electronics era, although it is sort of in that tipping point, excuse me, that tipping point region. So I decided to change my topic, still going with the same format of an invitation, but I chose to do an invitation on Douglas Engelbart's mother of all demos, his demonstration of the computer networking system that he and his team at the Stanford Research Institute have created. So I tried to stay with a motif that would really stand out as a 1960s design. I tried to use typeface that would have been similar to that which would have been used by a typewriter, whereas typewriters were just coming out, just not coming out, but just wrapping up their time in the 60s as computers were coming into the 60s, but a typeface such as this would still have been very, very common. The color scheme and the layout, I tried to make very retro, I guess is the term that we would use today. Along with this homepage, I also created a couple of additional pages doing some FAQs about the seminar and also some information about the demonstration itself. Here's the page looking at the information about the demonstration, about the speaker, about the work that they have done, about the content of the demonstration, and its functionality. And up until this point in the 1960s, which I've learned through history, not through my own experience, but up until this point, computers had been on the scene for some time. Many of them were still the size of Volkswagens, but they were there and they were being used regularly by individuals. What made this so unique was, what made this demonstration so unique was the networking of these devices, and not only the networking of these devices, but the shared collaboration that could be done with the networking of these devices, that multiple users could all be working on the same content simultaneously. That was the real feat that was being displayed here by Douglas and his team of researchers.